Hello and welcome to Riffle Shuffle and Roll. My name is Mark, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to play Regicide. I will be focusing on the solo rules. I'm going to do a complete setup and a bit of a playthrough. I will play through the first four enemies. And within those first four enemies, I'll be able to show you how everything works, and you'll be ready to play. In this tutorial, I am going to be using the Bicycle Vikings deck. I'll have a link to this, if I can, a product link. This is a pretty cool deck, and it works well for this game thematically. You, of course, can, if you wish, buy the actual Regicide deck of cards. It is just a 52 card deck with special art. So that is up to you, but this game was designed originally to be free to play using any old deck of cards. All right, let's dive in and play some Regicide. All right, to set up for a game of solo Regicide, you will need to separate the deck into numbers, jacks, queens, kings, and then your jokers. To build your castle deck, which will be nothing but the bad guys, first you take the kings, give them a shuffle, then place them face down where your tavern deck is going to go. Then take your queens, give them a shuffle, put them face down on top. Then the same with your four jacks. And that is your castle. So you will have to fight through all the jacks first, then the queens, and finally the kings. In the solo game, your jesters are going to allow you to reset your hand by discarding the cards you have and then drawing a brand new full hand. You will be allowed to do that twice in the game. So once you've activated the joker, you'll simply turn it face down. That leaves you with the number cards. So this is your tavern deck. All of these cards will be used to attack. Give it a good shuffle and then place it where you want your tavern deck to go. Be sure to leave room for a discard pile. The starting hand for this game is 8 cards. Now the footprint for this game doesn't need to be as large as I'm going to have it, because you can keep your cards in your hand. You do not have to use the companion app. You can simply play with a deck of cards. If you have trouble keeping track of the stats for the current bad guy you are fighting, you could always throw in some dice to help keep track of health and their attack power. I'm going to use the companion app because it's free and it does keep things tidy for me. I really don't want to make any mistakes during this playthrough. I am going to play through the first 4 jacks, and I'm going to try to show you an example of everything you can do within those 4 jacks. And that's simply for the sake of time. So some of my moves might not be optimal, and that's okay, because the purpose is to show you how the game plays, not necessarily to be the best player ever. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lay out my cards according to suit. Every suit has a power. So this actually helps me kind of organize my attacks. I did not get a very good starting hand. That's rough, but that's okay. Okay, so we'll launch the companion app here. We will tell that app what our first jack is. We're going to be fighting the jack of diamonds. All right, so all jacks have a health of 20 and an attack of 10. Queens are a health of 30 and a 15 attack. And then kings are a health of 40 and a 20 attack. As I mentioned, each suit has a special power. I'll go ahead and cover those real quick right now, but then I'm going to make sure you get to see them in action while we play. Diamonds will allow you to draw cards from the deck, either up to the total power of the attack, or as many cards as you can draw to get back up to a full-sized 8-card hand. Hearts allow you to replenish health by taking a certain number of cards from the discard pile, shuffling them up, and putting them back into your tavern deck at the bottom. So that is a good way to get cards you've used back into the deck. Spades will bring down your enemy's attack according to the total number of your attack. So that's a very powerful thing, and they do come in handy. Clubs, the attack is doubled. So whatever the number is of your attack based on the card values, you'll double it if there's a club in play. Finally, the suits are nullified. The suit powers are nullified based on the enemy that's showing. So we have a jack of diamonds right now. That means the diamond power does not activate. Let's go ahead and begin our first attack. Now, when attacking, you can attack with one card. You can attack with an individual card and a companion, which is an ace. Or you can attack with a combo, which is multiple cards of the same rank. However, there is a rule that you cannot have a combo equal more than 10. So, for example, the best 2-card combo you can do is 2 5s, because that equals 10. Or you could do 2 4s, which equals 8, 3 3s, which equals 9, or 3 2s, equals 6. So those are the best. You can also just play 2 2s or 2 3s. You may not use a companion, which is an ace, with a combo attack. A companion can only ever be attached to an individual card. And I will show you how that works here during the playthrough. So first, I am going to go ahead and attack with a 2-card combo, 2 5s. So the base attack here is 10. So I fall within that rule. That's fine. However, because I'm using a club, the club power is activated. So this will actually hit the jack for 20. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and put this attack, the 5 of diamonds, and I get to put in the combo of the 5 of clubs, bringing that jack down. So when you defeat a monster, if you defeat it with more than enough attack power, it goes into your discard pile. So it had 20 HP. If I hit it for, let's just say I hit it for 25. Well, I didn't destroy it perfectly. It wasn't a perfect kill. So it would go into my discard pile. However, if you're able to bring it down perfectly to 0, it gets to go on top of your tavern pile. Its HP was 20. I hit it for 20. That's perfect. So it goes to the top of my tavern deck. All the cards used to defeat that monster are discarded face up. And the next monster is revealed. The diamond power was not activated because the jack was a diamond. All right, now we're fighting the jack of spades. So the spade suit power is nullified. I cannot bring down its attack power. So I need to get rid of this thing as quickly as possible. It's going to be hitting me for 10. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it for 8 with the 8 of diamonds, because that's going to allow me to draw. And I'm going to be able to get a few more cards into my hand to take that hit. 8 of diamonds. Canyon. All right, it's telling me to draw 8. But again, you have to stop once you reach your max hand size. So I will draw 3. 1. Yes, I knew I was getting that. 2 and 3. Okay, so no spades. I'll put the jack of diamonds here and the 3 of diamonds here. This companion app is also set up to work with the multiplayer game. That is why the Joker symbol is available, and that is why it still says draw 8. Because in a multiplayer game, the draw would go around the table. So as a table or as a group, you would draw 1 card at a time until 8 has been drawn, or until everybody has their max hand size again. So it does affect a multiplayer game a little differently. All right, now I have attacked. I've resolved the powers. It's time for the jack's attack to hit me. They hit me for 10. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and use these 2 cards. So when you are hit, you have to use your hand cards to take the hit. And it hit me for 10. So I have to use any number of cards possible to block all 10. I could have used the individual 10 to block it. I'm going to save that card for a future attack. And I could have used the jack. The face cards are worth their attack power. So this jack is worth 10. Queens would be worth 15, and kings would be worth 20 in your hand. Let's say you don't have the right amount of cards to block that number perfectly. Like, let's say I didn't have this 2, all I had was a 3, then I would have to use it. Even though that equals 11, that's what I needed to do to block that attack. But for this, I'm going to block it perfectly. Okay, so that resolves their attack back at me. Now it's my turn to take another swing. They are at 12. I could hit it for 9, or yeah, I could hit it for 6 here. I'm going to have to, and that'll allow me to draw cards. I'm going to take another hit. I'm not sure what the best thing to do here is. Either way, I'm going to be taking another hit. So, yes, that is what I'm going to do. I'll hit it with these 2 3s. Put that in as a combo. Bringing it down to 6. I get to draw 6. But I only get to draw 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's good. That's good. There. Oh, I'll move you down. I would really like to try to get this jack into the tavern pile. But I have to take my hit first, so let's see here. I could do this 6 and 4, and that is what I'm going to do. Okay. Oh, I'd be able to destroy it perfectly. That's not what I want to do. Okay, I've got a couple 9s in hand. The 8's good. I think I will just block. I need that diamond. I will just block using that. And then I'm going to hit it perfectly. 6 of hearts. So let's resolve the heart power before shuffle these up. 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have 6. That's okay. I'll take whatever's there. Place it at the bottom. Okay. And I'll hit it for 6. I get this card on top of the tavern pile. Those go there. And the next jack is revealed. Jack of hearts. Okay. Oh, here we go. I will hit it. No, I want to use a spade. All right, so let's use a spade here to show you the spade power. I don't think I have. So I'm hitting it with the 8 of spades. And what that will do is bring down its attack by 8. So now it's only going to hit me for 2. I have to cover that hit. I'll use the 4 of spades to do so. I could destroy this jack right away using the 9, because that would be doubled and be 18. But for the sake of this tutorial, you know what? I think I have one more jack, don't I? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now I'm going to use the club power. Hit it with the 9 of clubs. That's going to destroy it. I did not destroy it perfectly, so it goes here. All the cards I used to attack it go here, and we reveal the final jack, the jack of clubs. All right, now I am at a point where I have only 3 cards in hand. Now, yes, I do have a diamond. So if I hit it with a diamond, I'm going to be able to draw and replenish my hand. And that would probably be the best move here. However, I want to show you how the jester works. So we're going to pretend I don't have that jack. We're going to just move it off to the side. Let's say I attack with the 9. You can always go backwards on this. No companion. All right, I bring it down to 11. It hits me for 10. All I have is the 7 of hearts. So I would then be dead and lose the game. So what I'm going to do instead is activate my first jester. So I'll go ahead and flip that face down. I take these 2 cards and discard them. And then I draw back up to 8. So the only time you're allowed to use gestures is at the beginning of your turn during that first step, or right before you take damage from the jack. I am going to go ahead now and attack with this jack of spades. Still pretending I never had that jack of diamonds in my hand. So we'll attack there. I brought its health down to 10. It's a waste of a companion, possibly, but or a waste of a 9, but I'm going to go ahead and do it for this anyways. So 9 of spades and ace of hearts, bringing it down to 0 perfectly. That goes on top of my tavern deck. These are discarded, and then We move on to the queens. And that is how you play Regicide. You will continue playing until you either are unable to block the attack on you, or you are able to make your way through the entire castle deck. To this point, the farthest I've made is the first king. I've gotten to the first king a few times, and it's killed me. So you definitely need to have some queens in play, and you really need to hope, I say, that you don't get the king of spades right away, because that it is going to smash you. It's got 20 hit points. It's got 40 health points, and then its attack is worth 20. So I mean, right away it is going to decimate you if you're not able to get those attack points down. And that's how to play Regicide. So I think you get to see all the basics here in this tutorial. It does take a little longer to play. It's not a quick game. It took me about 15 minutes to get through the first 4 bosses. Now, I guess once you get in the flow, you could move a little quicker. But for me, every game I've played has been between 20 and 30 minutes, and I have not won. As I mentioned, the farthest I've made it is to that first king. So keep that in mind. It's not a fast experience like more traditional solitaire games, but I think it's a pretty fun game. Many of you who like Scoundrel will probably enjoy this as well. And I think there's room for a lot of kit bashing. I noticed in the comments of my Scoundrel video, lots of people have different home rules that they play, ways to modify the game to make it a little different. So I think that this fits perfectly into that portfolio of games, sort of solitaire-esque, but a little more modern, with a dungeon crawler feel, more modern game mechanics. With that said, I do have a playlist for you. I'll have up here on either side of my head of different solitaire games you can play, and within that list are more modern game designs as well. One of them being my own, Clear the Dungeon. I will say Clear the Dungeon is a much simpler game than this, or Scoundrel, because the way I designed it, it was modeled more after traditional solitaire games. So some people like that, and some people don't. If you want a game with more depth, like Regicide, then I highly recommend Scoundrel. It is an excellent game. But if you would like something a little more simpler, then you might want to try Clear the Dungeon. Again, all of those videos are in the playlist that I have here, somewhere on either side of my head. I'll also have links directly to the videos down below in the description if that makes it easier for you. All right, that's it. That's all I have for you today. If you found this video entertaining or helpful, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, give this video a thumbs up, and of course, leave a comment down below. One thing I noticed with the Scoundrel video is a lot of people like to point out the better plays that I could have made. And that's always awesome. I like to see what I could have done better in card games. Many people posted their own rule ideas for how to modify the game a little bit. So be sure to comment down below with any suggestions on how to change this game up or maybe house rule it. And of course, if you've got other solo card games that use a standard deck that you'd like me to check out, please leave those down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep on playing.